You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Saturday. My name is Brock. No Dalby on this one today, but if you listened to the show earlier in the week, we had Theo from Gob hop on the show there, and we played a little snippet of the interview live on the radio, but I had so much fun chatting with him. We chatted for like over an hour. I figure I might as well just post the full thing as a podcast, so here it is. Hey, Theo, how's it going? It's Brock.
Hey, sorry. I saw that weird number in my head. I'm like, oh, that looks like a spam number. And then I was like, just making some coffee, and then I look over and I'm like, Brock, actually, that sounds kind of. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, it's noon.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just calling about your security information, looking for your SIN number and whatnot here. So
It's 666.
How you doing, man?
Just enjoying this beautiful weather out here in Vancouver today. Just got back from the East Coast.
I'm always curious when I chat with someone on the phone. I like to kind of set a visual picture because this is an audio medium. So, like, what are you doing exactly right now? What are you looking at? What are you wearing, maybe?
Well, I'm definitely not in my underwear.
Damn.
Or boxers, I guess. It's about I don't know, like I think it's 24, 25 Celsius, and I'm in my shorts, t-shirt. I got a cup of JJ Bean Dark Roast Railtown coffee rocking. Yeah, just enjoying the day. Just got back from the Atlantic provinces, so it was pretty exhausting. The trip home was like a 21-hour travel day to get back home.
Oh, God, man. Well, I know you guys are always touring like crazy. We're super excited for you guys to be shipping out again next weekend to come play Rock on the River. It's going to be The Offspring and Gob. We're so excited to have you come out to Timmins, man.
Yeah. I'm actually drinking out of a Gob coffee cup just for this interview.
Does it feel sacrilegious to like use your own merch? Or I mean, at this point, it's like
we don't sell these. These are actually made as they're made in Palm Springs or in California. They're like etched into the cups, so they're like special cups. I mean, I have a Misfits one, I have a Ramones one, I have an Elvis one, I have a Van Halen one, I have a Skullscape one. I even have a Stranger Radio cup too, which is our bass player's streaming sort of once a week radio station thing he does off at his own place.
So what you're saying is if someone gets you as a Secret Santa, they should get you a coffee cup.
It's got to be a good one though, because there's not much room for any bad ones. It's running out of space.
Now, with the Rock on the River coming up, I'm sure we can find you a couple of new mugs. There's some great coffee in town. You guys are no strangers to coming up to Timmins. What comes to your mind when you think of Timmins right off the bat?
I don't know. For some reason, I think of like Northern Ontario. Like I spent some time. We've been there at least 2 or 3 times. To think of Shania Twain. I don't know if it's close to nickel mines, or I don't remember if there's some cobalt or nickel mines.
Sure.
And and I spent some time in Northern Ontario, like in Thunder Bay area. I mean, it's not obviously Timmins is a little bit further away, but it's like like a great northern sort of like outdoor sort of place, kind of like town. If I remember correctly, I think I got a speeding ticket or parking ticket there once, if I remember correctly too. But that would have been like 20 years ago.
Now, you mentioned, of course, our Lord and Savior Shania Twain. What's the odds that we can get a Shania Twain cover at Rock on the River from Gob?
Well, I don't know. We've never done one before, but you know what? I mean, don't be ridiculous, Brock. Don't be ridiculous. I mean, But for real, this is gonna probably kind of be so kind of crazy. This is a total true story. I was renting. I was staying at whatever, like sharing roommates had Taylor. This is like just as Gob was just like kind of getting their sort of feet cemented and making our own music, and like, you know, this was like, I think would have been late 93 or around 93 into 94. And I was staying at this place, and the girl upstairs, like they owned the house, so it was rented anyway. She was dating Shania Twain's brother.
Okay.
Yeah. And it wasn't, because there's one that's, his name is Mark, and I always thought, well, that's so crazy. His name's Mark Twain. Of course it should be, but it wasn't. His name wasn't Mark. It was the other. But like, I can't remember his name. But I met him, and he was like, you know, he told me, because I was playing music. He said, yeah, my sister, you know, he's like, oh, she was like, you know, kind of country, you know, in New Shania. And this was like, oh yeah, you know what? Locally, she was building up a name for us out, and I've heard her name. I didn't, you know, and then it just was crazy that she became a superstar.
And the best way you can honor her is with a Shania Twain cover next weekend, Theo.
Hey man, I'll throw it in the hat. Rehearsals when we go back to rehearse for the Offspring thing, and maybe we can do something.
Now,
I mean, we'll definitely do something, and it could be stupid. Most likely, 95% would be stupid, and it's silly, but it could be, or maybe it could be rock and cool. So we'll see. I'll see what I can conjure up for Timmins.
All right, no promises, but I'm holding you to it here. Now, of course, you are playing with the Offspring. It's going to be a kick-ass lineup of you guys going back to back with each other. Have you played with the Offspring before? Have you hung out with the Offspring guys before?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, we had done a bit of I think we did. I want to say 2018 or so. I think we did. I can't remember, but we did a bunch of shows like across kind of like the prairies, and like I think it was Vancouver, Alberta, Saskatchewan. We did some shows with them, and then we played with them a bunch of different times. It was like on and off. So, and then we were asked to do some more touring with them. I think the last time they came across Canada, not with Bad Religion this recent time, like just maybe 3 or 4 years ago. But Tom, you know, he was also playing with Sum 41, so it was kind of hard to sort of get that scheduled and make it work. So.
Now you mentioned Tom.
Yeah, we know the guys. I drink noodles. Like he was stoked. He's like, hey, Theo, come and have some tequila with me. So I was like, I'm in.
That's sick. I always wonder when bands tour together if you guys are actually hanging out or if you're just kind of like ships in the night, loading in and out. Is there a lot of bands that you've played with that have been like that, or is it always kind of this?
Yeah, most of the time it's like, you know, you make friends with the bands if you haven't met them before. And then you kind of, you know, hang out with them after, have a drink or shoot the shit. And then you find out, hey, other people in the same industry, in the sense of, oh, you've worked with that guy for sound tech or front house, and hey, that's who's doing our sound or whatever. You start kind of like, oh yeah, well, you know, you have a lot more things in common and stuff usually.
Now,
yeah, I mean, it's just like sometimes it's a throwdown, like in the sense, not like a fight, but like a party. Sometimes it's a wild party.
Rock and roll, right?
And then the next day is a wild headache.
Yeah, I can imagine, especially like doing some of these tours across Canada. What's the worst stretch of highway in Canada to drive hungover?
Oh my God. Well,
Northern Ontario might be there.
Yeah, you would think that would probably be, because there's it's more windy and stuff, and like, yeah, no, that would definitely be one of those. I mean, even like out in the Atlantic, like there's windy roads all the way around, going up from like say Halifax to Sydney, or just, yeah, like for sure. But I think any road, even if it's straight, probably sucks to drive when you're hungover.
Now,
But hey, we got to take care of ourselves a bit more. Getting older, it's like in your 20s, you don't recover as quick. That's for sure.
no, I feel that, man. You did mention about, Tom playing with Sum 41, kind of like a little bit of conflict with like scheduling touring and whatnot. Now that Tom is done with Sum 41, they had their farewell tour, which of course you guys were a part of. Does it seem like Gob's back in like full force? Not that you guys ever not were, but did that change anything with his time while he was in Sum 41?
Totally. Yeah, for sure, man. Well, it was harder to do more shows and stuff just because, their schedule would change, and then we would have to we'd have to tell them we can't do these shows, or we thought we could do these ones. But now it's like, of course, it's more of an open slate, and we get to start, working on, which Tom and I have worked on. We have new music, that's the part that we're just trying to we're doing rehearsals, trying to work on new music to get the band together to have that time. But with these festivals and stuff, and kind of like in between the little mini tours or do fly out gigs, we need just more of a, more time to actually get everything to go together, just to get the songs together. But yeah, we have new material, and that's us just being busier. Like, we're going to Europe for another month in September. It'll be our second time back. And then, we're doing the Warped Tour in August in Montreal. It's like the first time it's been back in like, I don't even want, 15 years or something in Canada.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, we got it. We want to, obviously, we're getting, people are wanting Gob to play, so we're getting offers. So it's like, it's kind of hard to not want to play those shows. And also try to make it work. And also because Tom lives out in New York. He moved there a long time ago with his wife. So it's like, it's like getting back and forth. So it's just, just figuring out. But I mean, we send stuff to each other, via internet.
Doing like the whole Dropbox kind of thing, or?
Yeah, of course. And then when we get into town to do rehearsals, we'll try and, work on stuff as well as rehearse.
Does that feel weird, like sending parts to each other, or do you just kind of think of it as like, hey, we're sitting in the studio, it'd be no different as me like, hey, I'm gonna play you this riff here. I just maybe have to wait a little bit longer to get your opinion on it.
It's weird because sometimes it's like, a couple albums that we've done, like the How Far album, or like World According to Gob, like there's always been like songs that just got added in that, like, it's like 3 days before in the studio. It's like, hey, I had a song idea, this and that, and then they're like, oh, actually that's pretty cool. So yeah, sometimes we do work on things in the studio, like work it out, like try to make it work. If it works, obviously we can put it out. If it doesn't, it just, stays on in those cases on analog tape because it wasn't Pro Tools. So it's like, which we've actually dumped a bunch of analog tape reels to digital just to preserve an archive. You find like, oh my God, like we have 3 of these extra songs that we've never released, and we're like, oh, okay, we know why we didn't release these 2 because they were like, oh, it's okay or whatever. But yeah, we usually record more than we want to put out because like we'll have a whole bunch of, some songs turned out like way better than you think they're going to turn out, or like ones are like, this didn't turn out as good as I wanted it, or everyone's not as happy with it, kind of thing. So we always do more for just the sake of trying to have, whatever our quality we think for it, our songs.
Now, you've always like split things with Tom, I'd say like pretty fair, like, with lead vocals and whatnot. But is it kind of just like whoever wrote it sings it? Is that the mentality you have in the band, or?
No, it's not at all. Like, and just like I was saying, like those, like, for instance, the example of How Far Shallow like takes you, and that song Nothing New, Tom sings. It's a song I wrote, the lyrics and all, and Tom. It's like, oh, I think your voice suits the key of this song. And that's how we do it. We do it for what makes best the song. And it's like, we write a bunch of songs that'll be like Tom, like, oh, I like this song, or that you wrote or whatever. And yeah, most of the time it's like the demos, like, like 75 or 80% we do little demos, or we do a little verse, chorus, something, a bridge, or just like you have the main idea and then you bring it to the band and just sort of jam it out so it just gets more of the band vibe on it and the feel, like, drummer will go, oh yeah, I'll throw this on it. What do you guys think? It's like, good or bad. We all kind of just put in our 2 cents. But yeah, Tom and I are the main, I guess, writers, because we've been writing the song since '94, I guess, since we started the band. And and sometimes Tom will have something for me to do in one of his songs or sing. Like on the new stuff, there's some stuff that he wants me to do. And anyway, it's like, so it's like kind of a collaboration. It's like, it's all about making the best, taking what we feel the best and making it the best for our band, what we feel rocks our socks. You know what I mean? Like if it does, then we're heading in the right direction. If we're like, I'm not sure about this and that, or there's something we need to work on, put it on pause or come back to it, kind of thing. And, and something that's just the way, I mean, I'm sure a lot of bands operate that way. I don't know. It's maybe some bands, there's just one songwriter or maybe there's one guy that writes the music, the other guy writes the lyrics, or I guess we're kind of like, lucky. I guess we write the music, write lyrics. Tom can play multiple different instruments too. So it's like, it's nice to have, sort of that depth for songwriting, I guess. And it's always harder to write like a really good song, like a good rock and roll or hard rock or whatever, kind of sing along, something that catches people's ears. I mean, we were writing fast punk rock stuff from the early days, and then we started becoming more like better songwriters, and that was like a challenge because it's like harder to write a good song. Obviously, write a fast, heavy song. I mean, that's obviously a little bit easier for us because that's what we've been doing since we started. But we like to mix it up. Like, gob is sort of just like a big gob of some cool music. Like, it could be fast, could be kind of slow, could be grooving, could be dancing. We just want it to be good. If we like it, or like our ears are like go, we get a little warm and fuzzy feeling inside. We're like, hey, this is it. This is what we're gonna do.
I love that so much. I'm curious, was there ever anything that you ever wrote or Tom wrote that maybe ended up in the Sum 41 catalog, or anything that he wrote for the Sum 41 catalog that maybe you guys were like, maybe this works better for Gob?
Oh yeah. Well, I think Tom wrote that song Screaming Bloody Murder. I think Derek changed some melody and lyric ideas or whatever, but it was brought, actually Tom was like, what do you guys think of this song? And then he had like a whole bunch of other songs we're listening, and we kind of put that one, over to the back burner kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, and so I think Derek, I'm not exactly sure, but I think the way it went was, Tom, they probably said, hey, you have any song idea, this and that? And he goes, oh, I have this one. And I guess Derek liked it. So that was one of the ones I know that Tom wrote that went from, it was one of his songs, and Gob kind of said, oh, we kind of passed on it, I guess,
That's awesome.
And I don't think anything like, like I remember when, like, for instance, when Tom wrote I Hear You Calling, all it was, and I'm sure you, obviously the beginning part of the song where it's kind of, has that instrumental with that sort of fuzzy guitar and that little kind of bluesy riff for the first like 8 bars or whatever.
Yeah.
That was actually just repeated, that song. There was no vocals. It was just that exact part. He just repeated it like twice on a cassette tape when we were like, I remember 1999 it was when he played it for me, or early 2000. And it's just like sometimes you hear things like when your bandmates like say like, dude, there's something awesome about that. Like, fuck, I think we should, like, we got to work on this riff. It's so cool. And so then it became that song. So it's like we push each other too. Like, so it's kind of good. Like, you never know.
Now, are you
Like,
talking
I was
about like?
excited. I remember.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So keep going.
Oh, I was just saying. No, what were you going to say? I was just saying that sometimes you just don't know what magic happens until like you kind of like, and then obviously when that song was done as a demo and it was presented to the label, they were all like so stoked on it. Obviously it sounded lo-fi, like a little 8-track recording of it, with like 2 guitars, the vocals, a couple of drum mics, and just us in the rehearsal room, and we made it sound obviously presentable to the label. We did all the demos like that, and there must have been, I'm not sure how many songs exactly are on that record, but there was definitely 3 or 4 extra ones that just didn't make it, because it's just like, how many do we put on? And we just pick the best ones, kind of like I was saying earlier.
Yeah, some people say like you don't have a favorite child, but when it comes to music, you most definitely have your favorites, right?
Well, it is hard sometimes. They think, oh, this album, you go back, you haven't heard it in like 5 or 8 years, or you're like, and then you go back and go, I actually played some really cool shit on this record. And then,
But do you ever mess yourself up where you're like, I don't even know this riff anymore?
Yeah, you know what? So of course, because if you haven't played this song, we've been in a band for 31 years. So you think 94 to present. So just for instance, we're working on some songs that we haven't played, since they came out, like in the 1998 or 2000 or 2007, or it's like it's a refresher. Like you go, oh yeah, because you kind of know, because you played the song and you have some memory of parts of it. But there has been songs where I'm like, I played that there.
How the hell does that work again?
Yeah. So it's like you relearning your song. Yeah, especially if you only play them on the record, and maybe you played them once or twice live, and then they became like ones that got overtaken by other songs or whatever, and then you haven't played them in 25 years or something. So I mean, but it's weird. Some of them, like you go, oh yeah, that one is just like, because when you write the song, you kind of, when you write your own song or whatever, pretty much the gist of it. Like
sometimes it's like riding a bike, sometimes maybe not so much. Yeah,
it is mostly like riding a bike. Yeah, exactly. And then the other times it's like riding a BMX bike off a ramp, and then there's no lake.
Love it.
And
love
it's
it.
and then it's just a crash, and you're like, I gotta start all over.
Now you mentioned, Tom showing you, I Hear You Calling, the riff on a cassette. One thing I really enjoy with my friends from music is if you go through like their voice memos or even just their photo album, it'll just be endless videos or recordings of them being like, do you have that on your phone as well? Just like coming up with ideas on the fly?
Oh yeah, there's things that like, like the memo, because they're like, oh, I thought of this cool melody, this lyric kind of thing. I'm like, and then you kind of start doing this, like start making these sounds, and then you're recording it, yes, several times, where like you do the beat, you're like cuts, like you're thinking like all the different kind of things, like you go, okay, this is kind of what I hear. Oh, totally. I know my iPhone with the recording, the voice recorder part of it, the voice memos. There's like, it's basically 99% like of song ideas and some stupid things on there. But yeah, because you go, oh, that's cool. Because you go back to it. I'll go back, say when I'm like, working on music, they're like, oh yeah, fuck. Because it's like sometimes you come up with an idea and it's so fresh, and then you like in a way rhythmically or whatever, it's like you try to like, it's hard to kind of like remember it again if it's just kind of pops into your head, and then
sometimes
life,
it's just
all these
gone,
weird
right?
things happen, and then you're like, oh yeah, I fucking forgot I wrote, did that or whatever. Yeah, so for sure there is you know, if I open up my voicemail, I wonder how much. I'm going to look at it right now just to
How many you got
okay,
in there right now?
Yeah, 385.
And
I'm not kidding.
my
Yeah,
favorite like
380.
mental image is just like picturing you sitting in your car or whatever doing that, and some guy at the light looking at you like, what the fuck is this guy doing right now?
Well, you know, it's happened. It happens anywhere. You're like, this could be at home, you know.
I feel that even with the radio show, the amount of times where I've just like, I gotta write, I saw something, I have to write it down, like whatever, because you know, like 5 minutes later, your brain's just gonna be like, I had something, but I don't know what it is now.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so happy to hear that you guys have new music in the works. Any time frame on that, or it's just kind of in limbo right now, or?
Well, we were trying to like work on something, even release maybe a couple singles or of it or whatever.
Sick.
You know, be like by the you know, we were trying to, but it's just so hard because we have to get the studio time booked and get, you know, record the drums and then just, you know, and obviously everything else after. But it just, yeah, we were trying to figure out how we can do it logistically with the touring and back and forth, and we're going away in September. And so that kind of takes out the momentum and sort of the air out of like, oh, getting back to the new stuff.
Now, are you able to like are you able to test out one of these?
We're like working on stuff all the time. Like it'd be like, you know, when I'm not like phoning and talking to promoters or figuring out logistics of getting the merch to the shows, and because you know, we play a big part of that in the band. Like me and Tom hands on a lot with that stuff too. So if we're not doing that and booking flights or that, and then it'll be like, okay, you know, I got this time, I'm gonna work on my music or whatever, and then we, you know, work on it. And obviously with technology nowadays, it's to, you know, just use, you know, whatever electronic, whatever drums and just drum machine kind of, just to do the demo, just to kind of play all the parts and just kind of get the idea together to kind of get it shaped. And then, you know, not even if the lyrics are just, you know, not even barely there, they're just, there's the melody, and you make up stuff until you kind of like, just so you have the idea to show other members and that, and see where it's kind of going. And then you get the vibe of moving in the right way. It's everyone's on board kind of thing.
Now, for anybody listening right now who is a musician, obviously everybody's looking for their next big break. You guys were able to do that, get on Much Music back in the day. Of course, a lot of people, when they think of Gob, they think of like the NHL video games and whatnot there. What advice would you give to any musician right now who's sitting there like, why not me? Like, what the hell do I got to be doing right now?
Don't do it. Get out. It's a pain in the ass. You know, it's all on, you know, your drive, you know, and just, you know, luck is a lot to do with it too, because there are so many great musicians, so many great players, and that it's, you know, it's almost a miracle you get like a band members, everyone can get along in the van, and then you go traveling and spend days or weeks or months with, you know, the same people, and we become a family. So it's like, you know, that is, you know, part, you know, obviously the songs matter. That's the big part. And then getting the people that are on the same page, you know, on the same kind of goal, in the sense of like, our goal is to make this album together, go on tour, you know, and play a bunch of shows. And it's I mean, that's pretty straightforward and a simple job, but there's always things that are bumps in the road. Like someone can get injured, someone, you know, like, or someone loses their voice, or, you know, like all these weird things. Like you never can plan for that, but it's just the perseverance, like just having the tenacity of just keep doing what you love. And I mean, and putting the work in, right? Like, and then hopefully, you know, like the dice roll your way, you know, and there's been a lot of that. Like, you know, we've been lucky that when we made that Soda video, we had no idea, like, that anyone would want to even see us or play. We were wanting, we were playing band, we were playing for like 20, 30 people, until we made that soda video. But that soda video wouldn't have happened if Mint Records, like, we want to do a video for You're Too Cool on the record. We're like, that's cool, but we kind of want to do this video first, because Tom and I wanted to build a BMX bike ramp to jump in the lake and have fun. That's really what it was. We never thought no one would watch it, or, like, we just did what we wanted to do. And the label was like, okay, we can do that, but the next video has to be that. We're like, okay, whatever. We built this ramp. My cousin had a wind up, like, 16 millimeter Bolex Swiss camera that, like, films at 28 seconds long, like when you wind it up. And then, lucky there's a lot of edits and because usually you don't stay on for that long anyway. So he had this idea. We just told him the idea we had, and then he wrote like a storyboard thing out, and he was all into film, and he went to film school. And then, like, it was about, I think it was like $1,500 or $1,600 to make that video, because it was like 3 canisters of film, because the song's a minute and a half. So he's like, oh, you need like 20% contingency of film to film extra, because whatever, I'm like, well, whatever. What did he say? Sounded Greek to me. And then we just did this fun video that he did and made us do. And then we rode our bikes like we did, and then jumped in the lake. And next thing you know, Much Music was, part of it too, I guess, at the end of that video, we're all supposed to submerge all the band members underwater, like synchronized swimming with little floaty things on our arms.
Yeah.
But no one showed up for I was the only one that was there for, I think Tom was working at the record store, A&B Sound at the time. It was back in the day. The drummer was doing some drywall. I have no idea what the bass player was doing. And then, so I was the only one there, and I was like, I need the ending shot for this video. And literally, they call them crane flies or leather jackets, or those bugs that look like spiders with wings. Yeah, like daddy long arms.
I have the sweater with your face on it. Yeah, I know the one.
So one of those flew by, literally at my. I'm like, I don't know, I could shove a bunch of these in my mouth, and he goes, okay. So I spent an hour and a half or whatever. I was like, I hope these things don't fly on crap and like flies do. And they weren't. They were on like the side of a house or on the grass. So I had this giant pickle jar, and I collected about 28 or 30 of them. And I thought, oh, this is gonna be cool, whatever. And then until I took them out of there and put them in my mouth, and then they're all obviously they want to live, and they just are trying to escape inside my mouth. So I was like not prepared for that. I was like, whoa, like I'm like, hurry. I'm like, let's get this going, because I had him on my mouth. So he's filming. I open my mouth, and he repeats, that's effing disgusting, like, as he's filming it, and he's shaking the camera because he's disgusted, and he's shaking the camera because he can't believe that I did that. And then of course I gargled a bunch of Listerine right after it. But it was weird, but and the next thing you know, he was like, that was the ending of the video. And then everyone talked about that ending, saying, do you see what he did? Whatever, on Much Music. So, I guess that's for 1995 or 96 when it was played. That was like a viral video, I guess, because they kept playing it and talking about it. Yeah, and then all of a sudden we went from 20, 30 people to then we show up at the Toronto Opera House, and there was like 1,200 people. Were like, oh man, wonder what band's playing here tonight. And they're like, they're all there to see us. We're like, what? What? So it was kind of it went like, from there, and it just started building. And
you guys most definitely had like a sick run of music videos, and huge props to Much Music for always putting you on. And I'm blanking the name. You guys were in that Much Music movie of like the kids doing. It was basically like the Canadian version of Road Trip.
Yeah, it was Going the Distance.
That's what it was.
Avril Lavigne and. Yeah.
You guys in Swollen Members on a plane, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that.
We were in the backstage area. I remember think, I haven't seen it in a while, but I mean, I remember the director goes, "What would you do?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know. Maybe this guy is annoying. Maybe I shove a banana in his mouth." And then, I said something totally different. Like, obviously, I can't. I won't be able to. I don't know if I can say it on the radio.
Yeah, we're pre-recording. You go for it.
Oh, you could just beep it out.
Yeah.
And then, this guy's backstage and he's just being annoying. And he's like, "Oh my God." He's like, fanning out, and that was it. And then I said, yo, dude, deep throat this bitch. And then I shoved a banana in his mouth. So, but they made me, they also said, we're going to do a clean version. So I had to go to like a studio room and then watch myself do it. And there's like a little timing thing goes deep, deep. And then it's like, "You like peanut butter sandwiches?" Like I had to.
Oh, you had to like VO it, like voice over it.
I had to redub, but for the real movie, the first, like the regular part, the uncensored part was there, but for TV they wanted a version in case.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Back then.
Yeah.
So it was like, and it's just funny because it obviously pretty much doesn't match, but it looks like one of those old, Bruce Lee kung fu movies. But whatever, it's funny either way.
Oh man, I don't know how I had forgotten about that movie, and until we're talking now, I got to go home. I don't know if that's on any streaming platforms or anything, but everybody go watch Going the Distance.
Yeah, well, we did the song for it. I Don't Want to Break. The song was one of the songs, and then we did a video for it. At that time, Craig, our bass player, just had left the band to go play with Avril, so it was just we just did the video with the three of us because we didn't have anyone playing bass at that exact moment we were doing the video. So they mixed footage of Tom and I and Gabe just in the RV trailer because it's like them going across the country. But yeah, it gets pretty funny because in the video, Tom actually dresses up like a woman, and I'm like this sort of sort of like greasy sleazeball dude. And it's pretty funny, like, because we're wearing ridiculous outfits, and there's like I don't know if you remember that movie American Beauty.
Yeah.
Where the guy's picturing the girl on the bed and all these rose petals are falling on her. Like we did. There is our version of it in that video, which is Tom as a woman with that. It's pretty fucking funny.
Now, I think one of the things, I asked you about, like, what advice you'd have for people in a band or anything, but I think, like, one of the best advice, just going off of, like, our conversation here is the fact that, like, you and Tom have stayed such good friends, and I think the fact that you guys have been able to survive touring in small vans and traveling across the country and doing a movie, and while he's in New York, sending music back and forth, I think, like, not to be cheesy, but I think friendship is one of the things that's kept Gob alive,
well,
no?
Also he played with Sum 41 for like 15, 16 years.
So you had a gap from each other.
Yeah, no, but we would always see each other here and there. But I mean, and obviously all those things test your relationship with the friends and
I thought you were taking the angle of like we had some space, we were able to come back to it.
No, we would, of course we would talk to each other. I mean, I had done, like, at one point I was just like, because we were trying to do stuff, and then it was like we didn't know when Gob was going to do, so I kind of started doing like a Theo and the Thugs kind of side thing with the rest of the guys in the band. And then I had another drummer friend of mine that was actually the drum tech for us too, and it was a great friend, like super good, but he passed away from cancer.
Sorry.
It was one of those, it was like that. It was a hard time, but I got to play with him, just do 9 shows on a 10-day run through BC to Alberta. It was sort of like put together so super quick, and I did an album. I recorded one with him. I haven't released. We did a cover of the Platinum Blonde. Doesn't really matter, which is just me and him. And it's on Spotify and all those streaming and Apple and stuff. But it's the only song. But I have 12 other original songs that I haven't worked on, just because it was kind of hard to get back to it after losing your friend and like close friends, And then I kind of wanted to kind of get back to finishing it, but I mean, some of them were kind of like unfinished Gob songs, some that kind of started and then they just did. But I mean, yeah, maybe one day, maybe some of those will become job songs. But yeah, I did record a whole like album that's just sitting on a hard drive. It's got all the drums and the guitars and bass, and it's just missing vocals pretty much and some lead stuff. But yeah, maybe one day I'll go back to that, or maybe some of that will work into other songs or something. Who knows?
Well, I saw you come through Kingston. Was it last summer or 2 years ago now when you were doing your little solo acoustic tour and you played here at the Broom Factory there?
Oh yeah. With my friend Dan Garrison from the Core.
Yeah.
He. Oh, you even saw it? Yeah. It's weird doing that too because I was like, I wanted to just get out there and play again, but it was like, let's try and do the acoustic thing. And I try to make it sort of a little different, obviously, because acoustic's not heavy guitars yelling and stuff. So kind of change the vibe of some of the songs. And yeah, I don't even know. Like, what did you think of it? Was it all right?
I thought it was really good.
I'm putting you on the spot. Right now.
No. I thought it was really good, and it was really intimate too because it was like at least the Kingston show was like, if you remember, was 2:00 in the afternoon. And,
totally. I remember.
Yeah, and I actually remember I was having a smoke outside, and I guess you guys had showed up a little bit late, and the car pulled up, and someone rolled down the window and said, "Where can we park?" And I was like, "Anywhere." And
that was me driving the Dodge Charger. That was our Will, our sound man's car.
I felt like an asshole because I'm like, "Yeah, park wherever," and then I saw you guys get out, and I'm like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, we opened up the trunk to this black Dodge Charger with a Hemi and the 2 acoustic guitars in the trunk, and we're ready to rock. I mean, we pulled up in the coolest kind of car you could. I'm like, he's like, we were gonna rent a car, and then he's like, well, you can just drive my car, well, because we flew into Ottawa, to start the tour. And then, so he lives in Ottawa, so he's like, you can use my car. I'm going to be at the cottage or whatever. I'm like, okay. So we just put gas in it. Lots of it. That thing needs gas, but it's pretty rad. It's rolling in like a black, muscle car with acoustic guitars. I mean, it doesn't get any cooler than that.
That's rock and roll, baby. But no, you asked me what I thought of the show. I really loved it because it felt super intimate. We're all just chilling in a room, listening to you do these stripped down versions of songs, and I remember you're like, you guys can just ask me stuff, and I loved it. I asked you about Lobster Boy, and you talked about how it's about your friend or a guy that you knew, and I was like, does he know that song's about him? And you said no.
Yeah, I don't think he's actually in the video. In the beginning of Soda, it shows this redheaded BMX guy, he was really one of the top guys back in that era of the early 90s. Anyway, he is jumping off the tabletop. At the very beginning, that's him. He would always just get into trouble and cause, she's sort of like a shit disturber, and people always wanted to beat him up. But he was like a close friend. And so, I protected him a few times from some bullies. But I mean, he just kind of shot his mouth off so much. It's like, you gotta just not keep talking back because you're just gonna piss someone off that you're gonna get. But anyway, so I wrote this song, and a lot of the times in the summer, because he had fair skin, he'd always would burn, and he had red, like his, because he's a redhead and he was fair skin, so he would look always burnt, like sunburnt, like a lobster. Yeah. That's why I called it Lobster Boy. So.
Oh man! So from your perspective, doing those acoustic shows, is that something you do again? Was that like a one-off thing? What do you think, man?
I've done it a couple times. I did it out west, like BC, Alberta, and then I did it out east, I guess, in Ontario. But yeah, it was no, it's fun. I don't. It's nice to have something. It's different. You get to. It is, I tell you, it's way more challenging to do stuff like that where you're playing like a clean acoustic, and it's more like you said, it's more intimate, but it's also more vulnerable. Like you feel more, it's more vulnerable, like because you're it's like everything is there, like out on the table, like basically like the note, if you screw up what, it's so easy to hear like mistakes, and it's just so open and just clear, you know what I mean? Like
There's
where
no
you're
like
playing
safe
a loud,
space with the rest of the band kind of thing, right?
yeah, well, you're playing with with electric guitars, these two guys yelling in the microphones with the drums and bass playing. That's like your comfortable zone. So that is definitely not my comfortable zone, but it's a challenge. It's kind of like a thing. I'm like, I'm going to just do it. I'm going to see if I can do it. Like, and I know I felt, I might embarrass myself, but I mean, I just, did. I just wanted to do it. I just wanted to try. I just wanted to, I was just kind of just like bored, and I wanted to do something. So, so that was sort of like something, and then I asked our agent, say, hey, if there's anybody that'd be into this? And, our Feldman's like, yeah. And then some of the stuff was just done, in a way, like I just did it myself. I just would contact some breweries or whatever and said, hey, do you want, me to come by and ruin the evening for you? Or, or in this case, the late afternoon or early afternoon. But yeah. So it was a thing, and it was fun. Like I actually enjoyed it. Like it was better than I thought it would be, in the sense where, it didn't matter how many people showed up or whatever. It just felt fun to like play the songs sort of different and get it, and talk to the audience all the time about in between songs, like you saw in Kingston, just sort of do a Q&A kind of thing, so.
I think as a fan, like I said, it was really cool to see it all stripped down, the moment, the asking the questions, and especially being able to get one of those very rare Theo from Gob shirts. I love that so much.
Oh yeah, exactly. That was just for that run. I forgot about those. Yeah, which they did sell all of those, which was nice to get rid of them. It was actually our merch guy, Andrew. He's like, I did this idea, this, and I'm like, when you have a picture of yourself and your name on the shirt, it's, I mean, I don't know about other artists, it's kind of embarrassing a little bit. It's kind of weird, but I mean, I know I don't have to wear it, but what was funny was Dan, because I showed him the shirts. He's like, oh man, can I get one of those? Like, I'm like, yeah, sure, if you want one. This is before we had started the tour, because we were just kind of rehearsing. And so we, whatever, fast forward to the day we're flying from Vancouver to Ottawa. He's like, sitting beside me on the plane, and he's filming a video, like, of just, he's like, hey, he's talking to the camera. I'm beside him. I'm not kind of paying attention. And then he opens up his jacket or whatever a bit, or his hoodie, whatever, and it's like he's wearing the shirt, and I'm sitting beside. I didn't know. And then he's like looking at me and looking at the shirt. He's pointing it on the camera, and he's like, "What are the odds?" I'm sitting beside the guy. Like it was pretty funny. And then he caught me in a natural, like, I laughed my ass off, and because he did that to the flight attendant. And then it's like, what? He's like pointing at his shirt. It's like, what are the odds? Like he's pretending he was just a regular passenger sitting beside me. So it was fucking hilarious. Like it was pretty funny. But so that's how it started. So it was already, started funny. And the whole tour, Dan and I had a great time. And he's actually filling in for our bass player in Europe because he's getting married. So, yeah, so he can play guitar and bass, obviously.
And if I'm not mistaken, he was filling with Belvedere for a little bit too, or is he still?
He did. Yeah, he played. He's a guitar singer for the Core.
Yeah.
And a good friend of ours. He actually came out on tour before, did guitar tech stuff a long time ago with us, and we've just been friends ever since. And so when I did the Theo and the Thugs thing, he was actually one of the other guitar singer guys in the band I had. And with Stephen and Gabe and Larry playing with us. And then, so Dan, he filled in for Belvedere playing bass. Like he can technically play bass and guitar. He plays guitar as main instrument, but he can play bass. But he's a solid guy. He's professional, and
He's fucking
funny
hilarious too. He was cracking me up at your
he's
show.
he's so funny, and so it's good vibes, and he's like a road dog. He goes on the road all the time, so it's kind of like, at least and I'm like, hey man, like you're the first person we're thinking, kind of a thing. Actually, we were asking Dan and Cone from Sum 41, and Cone had like these other gigs that were already there, so he couldn't do it, but he was very honored to be asked to come out for that time. But we had asked Dan and Cone and see, hey, who's it gonna be? So Dan was available, and so he's coming out with us we're playing like in like a bunch of places in Germany, Austria. I think we're going to Belgium, Italy, the Netherlands.
Hopefully Kingston soon.
Come back, yeah. Well, that'll be when we come back for the Canadian part.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. And hopefully we get music like because October, like end of September is basically the last. I don't think we have any other shows planned for the rest of the year, so we're gonna try and work on getting this record done. Hopefully this year, get it done for. I guess it would be released for next year if we can make everything line up the way it is. But
well, I'm looking forward to hearing that new record. I can't wait to see you guys next weekend at Rock on the River. I'm going to be wearing my Theo from Gob shirt, so you'll know who I am.
Well, okay, cool. I mean, wouldn't that be funny if there was like 50 other people wearing that shirt? I'm walking around, Brock. No, you're Brock. No, you're Brock. You're Brock.
Hey, it'll just make people think that you're obsessed with our radio show, so that works for me. All right. I know I've kept you on the phone here for a very long time. Thank you so much for hopping on. Is it cool if I steal 60 more seconds of your time?
Of course, man.
Right.
Yeah, no worries.
So whenever we do an interview, we kind of just do it's a little cheesy, but drop 60 seconds on the clock, rapid fire questions, and you just say whatever comes to mind. All right.
Just hold on. Just let me take a good swig of my coffee here. Hang on. All right, I'm ready.
All right, I'll put 60 seconds on the clock. I'll just run through the questions. You answer whatever comes to your brain. All right, Theo?
Okay.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Who is the greatest band of all time?
Oh, why would you do this to me? There's so many. The bands that popping in my head are like the Police, the Ramones, the Clash. I can't say one band. I even love Van Halen, the older Van Halen. I love so much music. It's so hard to. Anyway, that's my answer.
Okay, worst band of all time.
Oh man, you can't do this to me. I get in trouble from my bandmates saying you shouldn't say things like people are gonna hear that. It doesn't sound cool when you say that. I'm gonna pass because I've grown as an adult.
Okay.
Even though I'm a punk rocker, I just don't want to
Yeah, I'm sure your publicist would appreciate that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite band you've ever toured with?
Oh my God! Over 31 years of bands with Trellis. There's so many. This rapid fire is more like molasses fire,
slowly burning.
Yeah. Man. Let's try to think of I just don't want to forget. If I'm going to pick a band, I go, oh wait, there's this band. I should have said this band. But oh my God, freaking shit.
Here, you know what? I'll go less music. We'll reset the timer here, and I'll just go more random crap.
Yeah, because we played with so many bands over 31 years, so it's kind of hard to pick. But I think I have a couple in my head, but I know that there's gonna be ones that I'm like, I wish I said that, but whatever. I guess I'm being too to
That's okay.
I guess they needed the questions before.
Here, these ones will just be more random based, I guess, that comes to mind.
Okay.
I put you on the spot with music stuff, which is kind of BS. I'll give you that. So, all right. We'll reset the timer. Are you ready, Theo?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1. What kind of guitar are you using right now?
Gibson. It's a 1957 reissue gold top. Been using that for a little bit live, and sometimes I use the ES335 Gibson semi-hollow body. But my favorite guitar is my 1969 Black Beauty custom Les Paul that I bring out sometimes, but not because it's old and I don't want it to get ruined on the road or flight travel and stuff. But yeah, I play Gibsons, so it's all Gibsons.
What is the greatest Canadian food cuisine of all time?
Oh my God! You know what? A good fermented crust, like a authentic Neapolitan type pizza, like classic, like a Mediterranean. That's not classic, but I like a Mediterranean, like a Greek pizza. I mean, my background is my parents are Greek. I was born here in Canada, but yeah, like Greek olives, Kalamata olives with feta cheese on it. But I'm vegetarian, so I guess I'd say really good pizza. And I'm not talking like Panagopolis or Panago or Domino's or pizza and all that. I'm talking about like brick oven, fermented crust, homemade sauce, which I do myself too. So it's hard to eat other people's pizza usually. Less.
Bit of a pizza snob,
pizza.
Okay.
Yeah, a bit of a pizza snob.
If you were a ghost, who's the first person you'd haunt?
All those people that did us wrong in those record labels.
What does the color green taste like to you?
Green tastes, it's one of my favorite colors. So I would say tastes like green apples or limes.
Okay. If you could switch bodies with anyone on planet Earth, who are you switching bodies with, Freaky Friday style?
Oh, man. You know what? I think I would just do it just to see what it would be like to be like, say, in a woman's shoes. For how long would this be?
Let's say 24 hours. Yeah.
Oh, 20, yeah. It'd be like, how would it be like, because sometimes you don't know what other people, like their lives met until you step into. So that would be kind of interesting to see what is it like to be, say, a woman, like a woman in and I guess that it's just like, hey, wait a minute, what is he trying to say? It's like, wishes he was a woman. No, but I mean, if I could it'd be like that, like, a woman, or like in, like, say, like your pet, like, someone that gets treated really well at one of your pets, just to live the day of, like, one of your awesome pets.
Well, that would be interesting, because then you get to see like how you're
or whatever, or anybody, like just someone besides myself, just to see.
I was going to say, with the pet thing, it's interesting because then you get to really see how your dog feels about you when they're in your position,
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I got a few more here. Would you rather have sausages for fingers or baguettes for legs?
Well, since I'm a vegetarian, I'd say baguettes for legs, I guess.
What song would be your walkout music if you fought in the UFC?
The first song came to my mind is the most silliest thing ever. I would probably pick I don't know. I mean, I should pick something cool because
No, just go with the first thought. Go with the first thought.
My friend, the witch doctor. You know the one that goes ooh ee ooh ah ah ting ting walla walla bing bang. You know that one?
Yeah, that's
I don't know why that
psychological
popped in my
warfare.
head.
That'll get
I have
stuck in their
no
head.
idea why that. I don't. Would you did it because I'm thinking, UFC wrestling. It's like ridiculous and it's kind of over the top.
Yeah.
And then if I came out as like a witch doctor, like my character would be like this, and that song would play. I've never even thought of this ever to do that or whatever. So when you said it, that kind of just manifested it right in my head.
All right, couple more. If gob was a flavor of ice cream, what flavor of ice cream would it be?
Well, it would definitely have have chocolate, it'd have vanilla, it had gobs of peanut butter cup pieces in it, caramel, some sort of nuts in it, like I guess sort of to portray the whole entire band's persona. Like there's like sometimes they can be a little vanilla, but a little chocolate, a little on the dark side, and then we got some nuts in there, throw some bonkers.
All right.
And have the peanut butter in there to kind of keep it all together.
All right, final one here. If gob never panned out or you never got into music, what would Theo be doing right now?
Wow. Well, my parents told me that they wanted me to be like a lawyer, doctor, or a pilot. And I totally didn't want to be any of those three. Imagine me as a pilot. Like I'd probably be like making the plane go up and down just to bug everybody with the turbulence. Make the food trolley, the food whatever tray thing that they push around, like just shaking back and forth. I'd say, I don't know. I would do something like I have. You know what? I've thought of this before, and I like so many different things. Like I've done a bunch of things, building stuff with my own hands, or doing something like making. I'm probably making like tube amps, like from scratch, like making my own type of amplifier or something like that. Because that was something that has been a bucket list thing of sort of building my own kind of amp.
I'm just picturing going in for my prostate exam and seeing you put on the glove and.
Don't worry, Brock. And then as I snap the glove, I'll be buying you dinner later.
Oh, Theo, I've kept you for a very long time. Thank you so much for the conversation today. I really had a lot of fun.
No problem, man.
And
thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much. I can't wait to see you at Rock on the River next week, buddy.
You bet. We'll see you there, man.
Finally, I guess for anybody who's sleeping on getting the Rock on the River tickets, what do you have to say to them right now?
Get your ass to the internet.
TimmonsFestivals.com.
Get some tickets. You're gonna, it's your loss. You're gonna miss out on a good rockin' time. We're gonna be playing so many cool. We're gonna add some new stuff in our set list that we haven't played in like years, like 20 years. So, and Offspring's playing. Like, what else are you doing? Come on.
And there might be a Shania Twain cover.
Also, there could be a Shania Twain cover, and you don't want to miss that. Even if someone films it with their iPhone, they're not going to get the whole thing or even get it. So it's not going to be as cool as seeing it happen in real life. So
awesome. Thank you so much, brother. Look forward to seeing you in Timmins.
Yeah, you bet. Take care, bro.
Right.
Want to be a part of the podcast?
Leave a message on the Bad Line.
The Bad Line is the answering machine for the Brock and Dalby Show.
To get the number, text the word BAD to 762-555.
Thanks for listening to the Brock and Dalby podcast.